Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Have any of you ever had a job? If yes, might you state your job? If not, I've got one heck of an opportunity for you. You see, back in about 2014, I was 15. I needed some extra cash during the summer, and I was tired of, basically hanging out at the skate park all day, bumming cash to, get some of that really greasy pizza from 7-Eleven. I remember I used to hang out at ACC, the parking garage, and we would wait for cars to drive by, and I'd get their attention, and I would ask them for money, and typically I could get about $7, and, that was more than a slice of pizza from 7-Eleven. I could probably get myself Taco Bell, or even worse. I could honestly save up that cash and head over to the skate shop to get some better equipment such as wheels, hardware, trucks, bearings, decks, etc. I could get socks even. One hell of a waste of money, if you understand me. Anyway, basically that summer I signed up for this 2-week program. It was a week program. It took me 2 weeks because we all make mistakes, if you know what I mean. Anyway, that first week, it was lifeguarding camp. So basically, we became certified. It took many hours of learning in a classroom environment the basics of CPR, rescuing, etc. And we moved from there to our certification process. We did everything that we learned in the classroom, in the water, and we were tested out over it. Bad enough, I failed the CPR that first week. I went back, I took it a second week, and I passed it. I ended up finding myself making about $850 for a month and a half, which I was stoked for. However, the reason I applied for that job, it was because my parents had tried to make a trip down to the pool where they would take my little brother to go swimming here in our neighborhood. That pool wasn't open, but they had flyers attached to the fence saying that they needed lifeguards. We were about 700 short that summer. And no wonder, later on I realized that job is extremely stressful, although it seems, from an outsider's perspective that you'd be spending a hell of a lot of time doing nothing, sitting around, You might even close your eyes underneath the sunglasses. Bad idea. Do not do it. You will get fired. Somebody might die under your watch. Anyway, I found myself working at a rather hectic pool known as Bartholomew, and it was difficult. There were many hazardous swimming capabilities. Kids just couldn't swim. That's why I said hazardous swimming capabilities. Basically just invented a new term. Anyway, the years following that, the next summer I went back. I got recertified, which was only a 2-day course, and it was pretty quick. It took about less than half of what the original certification course took. So anyway, I did that. I ended up working at the same pool, and that summer I got about 7 saves. That summer my wage also increased $1 because I turned 16 and I was no longer 15. I could do more legally, and I was a hell of a lot more useful. But that was that's how it worked. Whenever I turned 17, I made an extra $1. But by the time I turned 17, the city mandated that lifeguards get paid $13.50 an hour as opposed to those stepping stones per age. So anyway, the next summer I was still confused. I don't understand why, but we still we're about 600 guards short this next summer, as opposed to the 100 2 summers before that. And I could never understand. Maybe the city had a hard time broadcasting to all the teenagers through AISD that, would be making this much more. Personally, I learned many wonderful leadership skills. Once I turned 17, I was able to work as a head guard. That means I would unlock pools, I would let myself in, I would take care of basic things. I would check the chemicals, I would sweep the pool deck, I would make sure that there was no glass in the water. I would set out the inner tube, not the inner tubes, but the tubes that you see lifeguards holding on to just in case they have to jump in the water and support themselves as they rescue a kid. Or they've got many capabilities, but I'll let you learn about that in the course. So anyway, at 17 years old, I was signing lifeguards in, many who were older than me, and I was making sure that they got paid. If my signature hadn't been on the daily pool checklist, those lifeguards would not have received their wages for the day. I had to sign off for each person on the daily pool checklist and then the timesheets as well. And I mean, it's quite an experience being so young and having such a great responsibility, although it is so easy. It's definitely installed quite a bit of confidence in me. However, this year, we're not struggling anymore. And there's got to be a reason why. There are no downfalls to this job. You're compensated pretty well compared to what other people have to do to get by without any sort of extra training. You can go work at McDonald's, and I'm pretty sure that job is going to be just as stressful as lifeguarding, except, hey, lifeguarding, we're making about twice as much as you'd be making at McDonald's if, a McDonald's employee seriously makes $7.25 an hour, I would think. It's also very easy to move up. So, like I said, I spent 2 summers as a normal lifeguard. The next summer I was able to do more involving first aid, cleaning the pool deck with one of those pressure washers. Those pressure washers, you press a button and it shoots a stream of water that is, has enough pressure that can probably take off some of your skin. And that's kind of scary to deal with. They're not going to let some premature teenager, somebody who's not really serious about their job, use one of those things. I used to chip paint in the bathroom with it because it was so harsh. Cleaning off the bathroom, move it over to the wall, just the slightest amount, boom, and pop off. So that second summer, I ended up making about 8 saves, and it was quite the feeling receiving that recognition whenever somebody would, show you their appreciation, whenever they saw you save, whether it be their kid, their sibling, or whether it just be a bystander that was, that was genuinely appreciative, whether or not you saved their kid or not. You earn a hell of a lot of more. You earn a lot more respect whenever they see that your job actually has meaning. But there's another thing. If you're at a normal pool, a pool without that much, without a high population, typically, I'll let you learn about this in the course if you do choose to decide. I'm giving my personal opinion. My summer job as a lifeguard has supplied me with a tremendous amount of confidence. It has allowed me to feel more like an adult and like a more productive civilian. Because what you learn in that pool can be taken just about anywhere, especially if you live in Austin, Texas, especially if you like to go to the Greenbelt on the weekends with your family. A kid slips, he hurts his neck. You can deal with that off the bat. I'm pretty sure if you are passing your audits, you should know how to handle the situation. You should know how to direct each person on what to do. Same thing, they might be drowning. You might find an old homeless man passed out in public. That situation, it'd be best that you know CPR. Anyway, if you haven't had a job, maybe you're unsatisfied with your current job, I would definitely recommend going up and signing up for that course. That first week, it's not just stressful, it's also pretty fun, especially if you're signing up with a friend. You know, you get your lunch breaks, and if you're at a pool with a diving board, you get to, spend your lunch swimming laps or just fooling around, And it's almost like a little miniature college experience, if you will. I hope I can really make an impact on whether or not you'll decide to, go take this wonderful course and, partake in some of the experiences that I have. You have a good day.